soon understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
All right. So it's the Sunday Night Live show. This is Radio Baloney Live. I'm your host, Richie Baloney. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. I've had a great summer. Maybe this might be the best summer I've had in decades. It's been a great time. I hope you guys are having a good one as well. Maybe the funnest part for me is bringing all of the horrible news of the world to you. Maybe that's the best part. I don't know. I don't think I'm morbid. We also have lots of good stuff as well. Lots of fun stuff. Lots of videos of like animals doing funny things. That's great. It doesn't make you depressed. That makes you happy. All right, everybody. Have we got anybody in the chat? What's going on, everyone? Let me know that the audio and everything is fine. We got lots to talk about. Whoa, what the hell is that? What the hell is that I've got on my screen? Jesus. That's some sort of monstrous thing. Boy, I wonder if I've got a button for that.
The age of men is over. The time of the orc has come.
I've been worrying about that. For some time. Oh, dear. Well, we got lots of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk. I thought this was interesting. Ron DeSantis slams Pennsylvania for not being able to guarantee final results on election night. So this is interesting because, this is going to, stuff like this is going to affect how people see the election. Like this is it's kind of dangerous stuff. This is dangerous territory to be going into. And DeSantis is interesting too, right? Because before he decided to run in the primary, everybody loved DeSantis. I personally like Ron DeSantis. But then as soon as he got into the primary, nobody liked him. And then he got out, and then everybody likes him again. So I don't know. What are you going to do? But we'll get into this story. We've got Dramus Eves in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Uh-oh. He's saying that True Gina is watching you. Uh-oh. Well, we don't have a Grok versus Trudeau tonight, so maybe that's a good thing. But Dramus Eves dropped a True Gina in the chat. And we're a True Gina channel here. We're trying to popularize the name for Trudeau, True Gina, instead of like Castro, like Trudeau and Fidel Castro. We want True Gina. We want to popularize this. We want to make it big. We want to see hashtag True Gina. And anybody who drops a True Gina in the chat, well, they get a clap. So as you can see, it's well worth it. Well worth it indeed. So we're going to cover this story here about DeSantis slamming Pennsylvania for not being able to guarantee final results on election night. Because, well, we know what that means, right? We know what that means. That means find out how many votes Harris needs. Say you're not going to count anymore, and then count, 300,000 votes in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's just enough to push her over. So that's what people worry about. It doesn't seem like a great thing. It seems like the sort of thing that could make people angry. We got another story. We'll cover this one too. Breaking: Elon Musk will interview President Trump on at Real Donald Trump X account Monday night. So this will be Trump's first return to X, which I think is a good thing. I think most people agree that it'd be better if Trump was on X all the time. But I think he must have some sort of legal thing with Truth Social. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. But anyway, we'll talk about that quickly. And we'll talk about, Musk endorsing Trump. We'll talk about the harassment of Trump by the government after he took over Twitter. We're also going to talk about Ukraine a little bit. Now, I do follow this. I don't follow it super closely. I'm not an expert, but I do watch a fair number of videos on this from people that I trust. And there's the story right now is that this incursion by the Ukrainians into Russia in this so-called Kursk offensive. And I thought we would take a look at this and see if it's as significant as maybe what the media is saying, right? So just so you know, this is it right here. This is all the territory that Russia has taken. There's Crimea, and there's the Donbass region, and all of this. That's what they're talking about. So I thought we'd take a little bit. It's past time that we talked about Ukraine a little bit and caught up on it. And we'll kind of go back a little bit through the history here as well. So I think it's interesting. And I'm glad I'm doing it tonight. I've been meaning to get to this for a while, but I've been so damn busy. What the hell is that thing? Anyway, we'll talk about whatever that is. We're going to talk about the Australian breakdancer, the Australian terrible breakdancer. Apparently, actually got the gig because she cried. She cried, so they just gave it to her. What happened to feminism? We're going to look at this. Was so popular on Friday's stream, just looking at hot female Olympians. So I thought we'd take a look at that. It was so popular with my almost entirely male audience that I thought I'd bring it back. It's not too late. We're going to look at these. Some of these. There's a lot of stuff going on about Kamala Harris and AI. Maybe some of it's true. They were talking about this thing here when she lands on the plane. It's real. I think we'll talk about that. Here's Trump talking about how he is going to have a conversation with Musk on an X space. We're going to talk about body positivity and the hypocrisy around it and how stupid it is. And we'll have a little conversation about that. We haven't done body positivity for a little while, so we'll get into that. What else we got? We got tons of stuff. We've got, I don't know, again, whatever that is. Apparently this person thinks that's Adam Sandler, but I'm telling you right now, that's not Adam Sandler. Definitely not. Well, let's take a look at some actual Olympic level athletes. And I don't understand breakdancing being in the Olympics in the first place, but there's a bit of a difference in quality, let's just say, between the Australian person who has the PhD in breakdancing and people that are actually good at it. Most beautiful female athletes of the 2024 Paris Olympics. A thread. You guys asked for it. You guys got it. All right. Again, just hot girl seems to work. And this one, well, I think she's special. She creates feelings inside of me. Good ones. Also kind of I guess maybe almost kind of an existential pain as well. Do you guys get that? Do you guys get that kind of existential pain when there's certain women? You like looking at them, but it also kind of hurts in a way too. There's a dog that actually really likes the Olympics. He's having a great time. We'll get into that. We like the animal stuff. Here, we're going to talk a little bit about Chicago Teachers Union president. Stacey Davis Gates says that testing is junk science rooted in what? Guess what? Guess what she thinks it's rooted in? White supremacy, and born out of eugenics. That's right. Testing is white supremacy and born out of eugenics. These are the people that are teaching your children. This is why they can't read. We got some stuff on England here and how authoritarian and insane it's gotten there. Can we get some more true ginas in the chat, by the way? You get applause for it. And it's that easy. Look at this guy. Instant legend. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Maybe one more of these just as before we move on. Just a short one. Good Lord. Let's see. Here's a Harris rally attendee who says that she's a trans man and gay and also pregnant and had an abortion. So a straight woman who had an abortion. Anyway, we'll get into that. Got a horse here who's having a great time, living his best life. Check it out. We're going to get to all this stuff. It's fantastic. A dog who wants to be friends. You'll never guess what happens when he approaches those cats. You'll never guess. Not in a million years. We got some Kamala Harris, of course, cackling Kamala. We've got some more dog stuff. We've got some crazy, I guess, front holes for Kamala. Or white ladies for Kamala. Are looking for. Anyway, we got tons of stuff. We're going to go through it all. First, let's take a look at this. So, Ron DeSantis slams Pennsylvania for not being able to guarantee final results on election night. This caused a bit of a problem in the last election. This sort of thing. You'd think it'd be the sort of thing that they'd want to sort out. It would be a top priority to get it sorted out. I mean, people know that, like, in how's the video quality on Rumble there? Dramis, how's it looking? I'm looking at mine on here. Looks like it's looking pretty cloudy. Oh no, now it's cleared up. Okay. Looks like we might have been having some internet issues there. I shouldn't. I've got lightning fast internet here. But again, the not being able to finish counting thing caused a lot of problems and a lot of suspicion. And you'd think it'd be a top priority for every state to be able to say, we're going to do it like it always worked before. Always worked before. You always had everything counted on election night. France just had an election. They called it within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks of calling the election, they had the election and had all of the votes counted that night. Paper ballots. Paper ballots. You had to go in person to vote. I think that helps. But you'd think it'd be the sort of thing, if you were concerned about election integrity or you're concerned about perceptions around election integrity, that it's the sort of thing you'd get that nailed down. Because otherwise people might say, wow, it seems kind of suspicious. Seems like they might want to say they're going to stop counting at night, and then in the middle of the night, bring in a mysterious big bag of 100,000 ballots or 200,000 ballots or something that all somehow managed to just go for the Democrats somehow, 98% of them. And it's just enough to push Harris. So you'd think they'd consider these things. You'd think they'd want to have that nailed down. You'd think that if France can count, I don't know, like 70 million votes or something, maybe not 7, maybe like, I don't know, 30 million votes or something in France. After calling an election 2 weeks earlier, you'd think Pennsylvania would be able to do the same, that any state would be able to do the same. Florida, DeSantis is saying there's not going to be a problem there. Way more people there. Way more people in Florida. So, again, it's hard to imagine that there's a lot of the population that wouldn't think this is awful suspicious. Governor Ron DeSantis said Sunday that if Florida can deliver voting results on election night, there's no reason this cannot be done in every state in America, including Pennsylvania. Florida elections, says Ron DeSantis, have millions more votes to cast than in Pennsylvania elections, yet we count the votes and report the results on election night, and do so in an efficient and transparent manner. And DeSantis posted this to X on Sunday. There is no reason why this cannot be done in every state in America. DeSantis was responding to an announcement from the Pennsylvania Department of State that the results of the state's upcoming election may not be known on election night. You'd think they'd figure out a way to get this all sorted before people start freaking out, right? Just to give people confidence that everything's above board. You'd think that would be really important. Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they? It seems strange, right? The Pennsylvania Department of State declared Pennsylvanians won't always know the final results of all races on election night. Any changes in results that occur as counties continue to count ballots are not evidence that an election is rigged. Huh. Geez. So they're saying right now that any changes in results that occur, say at 3:00 in the morning, that's not evidence of, that the election was rigged. We're just letting you know right now, because that's definitely going to happen. And when it does, definitely wasn't rigged. I feel that kind of raises the suspicion a little bit more, don't you? Don't you feel like that? The announcement for many brought to mind the 2020 election when initial results in Pennsylvania appeared to favor President Donald Trump as polls closed. However, as mail-in ballots were counted in the following days, Joe Biden was declared the winner in Pennsylvania. The prolonged counting process has frustrated some critics who argue that state election results should be finalized and made public on or immediately following November 5th. It's a good idea because it kind of looks to some people like they're counting the ballots and they're finding out how many they need to win. Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro is the governor, Democrat. It appears to some people like they're counting the ballots and finding out how many they need to win and then just producing from somewhere just that correct amount, just enough to win. Because some people feel like it looks like that's what they're actually doing. That's why they can't finish counting that night, because they don't have enough votes to win yet. And they need to produce some more from somewhere while they're blocking people from observing and all of that. All of the normal things that happen in secure elections. Pennsylvania's legislature did not respond to demands to regulate mail-in ballots by allowing their pre-canvassing to accelerate the counting process, according to the Washington Post. Huh. Yeah, they seem to be opposed to anything that would make it more secure. For some reason, I don't know why they'd want that. I don't know why they wouldn't want things transparent and secure. Seems like such a major oversight. The state remains one of the highly contested electoral college-rich battleground states that could decide a presidential election in a close race. If a presidential winner hinges upon the decision in Pennsylvania, voters might have to wait for several days to learn the outcome. Several days for them to to learn the outcome. Quote, if the Electoral College comes down to Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, we might still face a long period where we don't know the winner, explained Rachel Ori, an elections expert with the Bipartisan Policy Center. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of how it's so unfathomable that they wouldn't have this sorted. And like a swing state like Pennsylvania, that they wouldn't have this sorted just so that at least it has the appearance of legitimacy, like absolute legitimacy. It just seems really odd because you'd think that would be like top priority, the most important thing. We must restore people's confidence in election results and the machinery of elections in places like Pennsylvania. And the fact that they haven't, while there are other states with more people, like Texas is expecting to know what the count is that night. Florida is. The fact that they're saying, what did they say? What did they say again? Let's go back down here again. Any changes in results that occur as counties continue to count ballots are not evidence that an election is rigged. Just throwing it out there. Just so you know, just ahead of time. We told you that it wasn't rigged. We told you that all the weird stuff that's happening, that doesn't mean that it's rigged. We told you. I'm just going to say I think it's kind of odd. All right, let's move on. Elon Musk will interview President Trump on the Real Donald Trump X account Monday night. It will be the interview of the century. Make America great again, Trump said. Donald Trump has not been on X since he was kicked off the platform, then known as Twitter, in the early days of 2021. But he's set to make a return on Monday night by hosting an interview conducted by Elon Musk on Monday night. That interview will air on at Real Donald Trump account, though it's unclear if Trump will come back to the platform in any further capacity. Probably not. I mean, it would have been a massive benefit to him to have been on Twitter the whole time. I think that there might be some sort of legal issue with Trump Social. That means that he can't like, at least go to it, at least use another platform regularly, perhaps. I'm assuming it's got to be something because from a political standpoint, it just makes sense. From an election standpoint, it makes sense to be on Twitter. It's kind of a no-brainer. So I'm glad to see that he's doing this. And it is going to be huge. I mean, that's going to be in how many millions of views? Elon Musk interviewing Trump? Come on. Let's see. A message from Team Trump read, President Trump will be interviewed by Elon Musk on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like this post and be notified when the interview begins. It will be the interview of the century. Make America great again. And here it is. So that's all right. All right. So this talks about how much he used and how much he utilized Twitter. It was a huge part of his 2016 campaign, right? But I think we all know that. So here's Elon Musk saying, I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. So this was right after the assassination attempt, right? So he's pro-Trump now. And I thought that it was interesting. I thought it would be interesting to bring up that this is not like a low-risk thing for Elon Musk. Yeah, let's make this a little bigger. Because we can look at the harassment of Elon Musk after he bought Twitter, now X. So this doesn't come without personal cost. I mean, Musk has genuine courage, I will say. Let's take a look. Does the Biden administration have it in for Elon Musk? Yes, they do. This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is from September last year. Says, once a hero of the left for his electric car advances, Mr. Musk has become something of a pariah since he bought Twitter. So basically, Twitter was just a slave of the state when he bought it, and just at their beck and call, right? And willing to censor anything that was required of them. And you can bet that X is still in communication with the government. They're still working with them in some way, but it's not like they're just getting everything that they want. And he's allowing people on that certainly back on, like Alex Jones, for instance, certainly does not make the state happy. Certainly not the Biden administration. Eve Samard says, is the name Trugina censored on YouTube? I don't know. I know that I'm censored on YouTube, but you put a Trugina in the chat, so you get some applause. I don't know. It might be. It might. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the censorship there is so ridiculous right now. I'm basically just totally quarantined at this point. It's unfortunate. This is a good time to mention that probably sometime in the next half hour, we will be turning off the YouTube part of the stream, and we'll be just continuing on Rumble. So right now we're streaming live. We are streaming live both on Rumble and on YouTube. But I've had, I had a video just completely removed the day after the Trump assassination. They just removed the video that I did. The stream that I did on the day of it, they immediately made it age restricted and demonetized it. I hadn't even monetized the video. They just went ahead and proactively demonetized it for me, which seems a bit much. Seems a little too aggressive to me. So the censorship on YouTube is too much. So we'll keep going. I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something on YouTube. Then we're going to shut that part of the stream down and we'll continue on Rumble. So I would suggest that come on over to Rumble. It's great. Water's great over here. Don't get censored. We can really be free. We can finally be free. I'm telling you what, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling not having the YouTube overlords looking over our shoulders. So run over there. And by the way, I should mention that they've got apps for I watch Rumble on Roku. There's an Apple TV app, there's a Roku app, there's a Fire TV, there's smart TV apps. You can watch it. You can watch Rumble just as easily, more easily than you can YouTube on your TV if you want, which is where I like to watch it. So run over there and subscribe to my channel on Rumble. And then, I don't know, everybody just feels better. It's just less stress, frankly. Just less stress. But anyway, let's continue here. Once a hero of the left for his electric car advances, Mr. Musk has become something of a pariah since he bought Twitter. Yeah, the left absolutely hates Elon Musk, and certainly the current regime. In fact, every leftist government in the West, in the Western world, hates Elon Musk because he has restored I think, a pretty fine level of free speech onto X. And it's the only, big tech platform of its kind. Like you're not going to get free speech on Instagram or Facebook, those sorts of things. So he's done a great service, but it's not a service to the regime and to the leftist regimes all over the world who are authoritarian and who have big plans for controlling what you can see and hear and say, including sending you to jail for disagreeing with them, as we're seeing in the UK right now, which is just absolutely appalling. The UK is turning into Airstrip 1 from 1984 right before our eyes. It's shocking. But Musk was a hero of the left. And it shows you the power of the media machine, the media narrative machine. Because he was a hero of the left for his, for the electric cars that were going to save the world. Do I have an electric car? No. Does he make the best ones? Yeah. He made them cool. And then just like that, just at the snap of a finger, the left was told, everybody was told, but, only the left believes it, that all of a sudden he's the greatest threat to democracy in the world because he's going to let people speak their minds, including the people that hate them. People hate Elon Musk because he said, hey, on X, you can speak your mind even if I disagree with you. That's how dumb people are. That's the level of the Pavlovian conditioning, right? People are mad that he's preserving their own rights. Because I guess there's a lot of people who can't see further than their own shadow and can't imagine a day when they might disagree with the regime or with the narrative, where perhaps the narrative becomes so absurd, right, that even they say, hold on a second, I think they're lying to me. I think they're lying to me. Yeah, it's a truly shocking and kind of actually somber and kind of depressing thought of just how quickly they were able to turn people against Musk for protecting their own rights. And I don't think that the people are even masochists. They just haven't thought it through. They just want to be told what to do. In any case, let's continue. Now, suddenly, and this is after he bought Twitter, and this article's from last year, now suddenly comes the legal deluge. This week, news broke that the U.S. Attorney for Southern District of New York is investigating personal benefits that Tesla might have provided Mr. Musk, as well as transactions between his businesses. The law requires that companies disclose executive benefits of more than $10,000 a year. Do you think this gets used very often? I'm guessing probably not. This seems like one of those things that they can find. Oh, what happened here exactly? Is there something? Oh, we'll get them on that. The journal also recently reported that the Justice Department is probing whether Mr. Musk used Tesla resources for a mooted secret house, which the CEO says isn't built, under construction, or planned. So Musk is saying this secret house doesn't exist. But they're investigating. The Justice Department is probing. They're very interested in him all of a sudden. All right. What else we got? There's also the dubious justice complaint last month against SpaceX for allegedly discriminating against asylum claimants. Now, Elon Musk is saying that he was told that it has to be people with a green card or citizens because really, like, SpaceX has great national security implications. So you can't just bring in people who are asylum claimants who you don't know who they are. They don't have any ID. They crossed the border they threw away their ID. I mean, it's just common sense, right? Any sane government would say this, right? You need to be able to vet people. You're dealing with, SpaceX is a national security concern. And Musk is saying, yeah, he was told he can't hire. Obviously, nobody would think that you could hire asylum claimants. That just doesn't make any sense. But now they're claiming that no, he's done something wrong and blah, blah, blah. And maybe it's to try and smear him with the whole bigot thing, try and make him seem to be a bigot some way. That seems to be that's obviously a very popular smear. It's the magic spell. You're supposed to call somebody a bigot, and it's supposed to shroud their mind with fear and confusion, right? Until they just relent and say, no, I'm sorry, you're right. I don't want to be the thing you called me. That spell's breaking fast, though, isn't it? The harassment extends to the Biden National Labor Relations Board, which has slapped Tesla with complaints related to its dress code and alleged instruction to employees not to discuss pay and working conditions. The Securities and Exchange Commission is also reportedly investigating Mr. Musk over Tesla's self-driving claims. This is all after he purchased Twitter, now X, and made it clear that he was going to make it a free speech platform. According to Bloomberg News report, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, this is the best one of all. This is how you know. This is how you know this is not all just a coincidence. According to a Bloomberg News report, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service scoured the environmental damage after a SpaceX rocket exploded shortly after takeoff. 7 bobwhite quail eggs and a collection of blue land crabs were found to have been charred. Well, that's it. I guess you got to close down SpaceX. I guess those astronauts that are trapped up in the space station right now, I guess that's it. They just have to live. I guess they'll just have to die up there now. Well, didn't you hear? The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service found 7 quail eggs and some land crabs charred. That's it. You can't move forward now. It's not with that kind of damage. Let's see. Elon Musk's Trump PAC. So Elon Musk started a Trump PAC, right, to raise money to promote Trump. Elon Musk's Trump PAC under investigation for violations in 2 states. Okay, which states are those? I wonder. Let's see. So Michigan and North Carolina, both Democrat governors there. Yeah, I mean, it's all just message sending, isn't it? You know, bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee. This will never stop. We will never stop. Bend the knee. You wonder why he's supporting Trump. You wonder why he's supporting the entrepreneur who likes entrepreneurs and understands business. You wonder why. You wonder why he supports the guy who actually seems to like free speech and actually like his own country. Anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. All right, so you may have heard there is there's been what they're calling a Kursk offensive into the Kursk Oblast, the Kursk region. There's a bunch of articles on it. Ukrainian troops now up to 30 kilometers inside Russia. Russian forces start fire at nuclear plant in Ukraine as Kursk incursion continues. That's not the nuclear plant at Kursk. That's the Zaporizhzhia one, a completely different area. Ukrainian troops reportedly gaining ground as fighting rages in Kursk. Zelensky confirms Ukrainian troops are fighting inside Russian territory. I feel like the media has gotten very excited about this. They tend to get quite excited about anything they can promote as being positive because I guess they're under instructions to try and keep up public sentiment to keep sending money to Ukraine. Now, I want to say first off that I don't have a dog in this race, right? What I see is, now, obviously, I'm not in favor of Russia invading Ukraine, but what I see is 2 authoritarian governments. Neither are democracies that are fighting each other. And again, I don't have a dog in this, right? I'm not totally sure that all of Canada's wealth and future wealth should be sent there. I'll just say that. It's certainly not a fight for democracy. But the media gets quite excited when anything kind of they can portray as positive on the Ukrainian side happens. So let's take a look at what's actually going on here on the ground. So here's Crimea. Here's the Donbass region. This is all of the area that Russia has right now. Okay. Now this is the incursion into Russia up here to the north. So they did it somewhere where it was going to be thinly defended. Now in the chat, I want you guys to tell me what you think of this, by the way. What you know, what you've heard, your opinions on all this. I really definitely want to hear that. Again, this is the first time I've actually covered this conflict, other than saying that I'm a little bit concerned about World War III. But in terms of any kind of actual detail of what's happening on the ground, this is the first time I've covered it. So even though it is something I've been paying some attention to. So this is it here. This is the region here, this little part right here. It's not, this isn't going to cause the collapse of the Russian government or of Putin. There we go. This isn't a war-ending offensive here, right? It's not going to get anywhere near Kursk itself. So this is not going to be there's not going to be a 6,000 tank battle at Kursk like there was in 1943. Let's see. Michael Douglas just says no. How you doing? Welcome into the chat, Michael Douglas. Oh, he's saying no. The True China is the name True China is not censored on YouTube. That's good to know. Good to know. Give me 1 second, you guys. Hold on 1 sec. Sorry about that. I should mention to you, Michael Douglas, that you're on YouTube right now. That we are probably in the next 15 minutes, probably after this story, we're going to shut down the YouTube part of the stream and just continue on the Rumble part. I know you got an account over there. You got no excuse to jump over. And you're asking for puppy palate cleanser. Well, you know what? You're going to have to come over to Rumble for that. I'm sorry. YouTube is too dangerous. In fact, I shouldn't even be doing this Ukraine stuff on YouTube. They'll probably nuke my channel just for that. But we'll continue through this since we've already started. And then I will see you on Rumble, where we're all free and happy. All right. So yeah, this is see, and this is not like World War II, this war that's happening now, right? There's not massive encirclements of hundreds of thousands of troops. There's nowhere near the number of actual troops. You've got the drones, which have really kind of changed the nature of the whole thing. This is more like World War I, trench warfare, just grinding, slow movement. All right. In fact, let's just go over the history of it just a little bit. Michael Douglas says, I was just looking for Texas Rangers highlights on YouTube. Well, you can look at those and then come over. We'll still be there. We'll be going for we'll probably be going for another 2 hours, maybe more. I don't know. Depends how many people show up. But let's take a look. Mapping Ukraine's counteroffensive. So you had March 2022, Russia invades. And you can see everything they took there. April to August 2022, you have the Ukrainian counteroffensive, which was quite effective. Russia is forced back from Kyiv, withdraws from the north, and consolidates forces in the east. September to November 2022, Ukraine's autumn 22 counteroffensive recaptures territory in the east and south. So this is the point where everybody said Russia's going to collapse and Ukraine's going to win. A lot of people also were saying, hold on, just wait. At December 22 to May 2023, Russia's winter spring 2023 offensive kills many but yields few gains. June 2023, Ukraine's much anticipated summer 2023 counteroffensive begins in the center of Russian lines. By December 2023, Ukraine's 2023 counteroffensive failed to achieve its main objectives. The front line remains mostly unchanged, and since then, the initiative has been with the Russians. So what's happening now is it's just a slow, grinding forward momentum from the Russians. Again, there's no massive encirclements taking hundreds of thousands of troops, but it's just slowly grinding this attritional war along the entire gigantic front. So then, as you can see here, there is this really quite small incursion into this Kursk region. Why? I mean, it's why? That's the question. Why did they do it? I mean, it's not militarily, it's not achieving anything. I mean, they have to draw a few troops from over here. Doesn't really matter. Ukraine is already stretched incredibly thin. I mean, at this point, it's an attritional war. Who wins an attritional war? The country with the largest economy, who can produce the most armaments and has the most men. That's Russia by a long shot. So what is this? This is, I believe, quite possibly like a PR move. Like, look, hey, we're winning. Something for the Western press to say, look, there's hope. And then they can say, give them more money. Send more weapons, give more money. Because that's a problem. They're not getting enough. I mean, the caches of weapons, the arsenals of the Western world are down to really nothing. They don't have much to spare at this point. So it's parts of what they can produce, but it's not enough. So is this a PR thing? Because militarily, it doesn't really make much sense. I mean, to do this, they'd had to weaken themselves along the main front. So possibly as well, I mean, it could just simply be that it's been demanded by Washington. And I guess, leaders in the UK, France, Germany, etc. Right, along with the plan to, fight to the last Ukrainian to apparently degrade Russia. Is that the final goal? Just to fight to the last Ukrainian if it degrades Russia. Just keep it going as long as possible. I mean, one thing that is certain is that there will not be a peace deal. There will not be a ceasefire while there's a single Ukrainian on Russian soil. That's not going to happen, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense from the Ukrainian perspective. Maybe they're forced to do it by Washington. I don't know. But what's certain is that Russia still has the initiative. And this is stalled, by the way, already. This isn't going to Kursk, right? Again, there's not going to be. This is a different. My mind always goes to World War II, but this is a different kind of war. There's not going to be a 6,000 tank battle at Kursk. So again, this feels like almost kind of a like a PR stunt, possibly, or again, just being forced to do it by like the Biden administration or the EU or something. So I don't know, but that's where it is. In the meantime, the Russians will continue slowly grinding down the Ukrainians along the whole front. I think they will probably end up eventually just at the Dnieper and just occupying this eastern third of Ukraine. That's probably where it's going to go. Unless they can reach unless they reach some sort of peace deal where Ukraine can get favorable terms. But that ain't going to happen while there's a single Ukrainian soldier on Russian soil. So anyway, I thought we'd catch up. And now we have. And let's see. Hey, POTUS George Kirby, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Says, LOL, the Norwegian chick in the thumbnail. Well, apparently you guys love that. Apparently you guys love the Norwegian chicks, the Olympic female athletes in the videos. I mean, we spent quite a lot of time on that on Friday. Yeah, strangely, I'm sure 99% male audience likes looking at hot Olympic chicks doing pole vaulting. Amazingly. So I don't know. Why not just keep going? I thought I'll give you guys what you want. You know, this is actually democracy here. All right. So I give you guys what you want. I try to make you guys happy. We can talk about Ukraine. We can talk about Elon Musk getting harassed and Elon Musk interviewing Trump on X and Ron DeSantis slamming Pennsylvania for saying that, well, I don't know, probably won't have the votes counted, I don't know, for days, or at least until we get the amount we need. I mean, until we count them all. But we also get hot chicks. Well, these aren't the hot chicks here. Sorry. We're going to talk about body positivity as well. But we're going to look at some stuff like this because it turns out you guys love it. Look at that. Right over the pole. Right over the pole. She's having a good time, too. Look at that. Look at that adorable face, and also ass and tits as well. Ass and tits. Hold on. We'll just pause it there. Phoenix, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. He says fart noise. Well, I've got those, but I'm not doing it to this one. It's not for her. The fart button is not for her. There. That is correct. That is correct use of the fart button. But we're going to talk about body positivity, and you can see there's some hypocrisy, some double standards here. Here's women's lingerie and sleepwear. You got some lots of body and also age positivity there too, body and age positivity. And then you've got the men's underwear, and they're not body positive; they just have good bodies. So, funny how it works that way, huh? Oh, it's almost as if there's double standards. It's almost as if feminism is pure double standards. Let's see. POTUS George Kirby says, I can't decide between Claire Fernandez or Roberta Maria Gurka. Best assets I've ever seen. I know what you're getting at here. You want me to put them up on the screen already. We're going to get there. We got lots of time. We're only 50 minutes into this thing. We got loads of time. Anybody watching on YouTube, you better come over to YouTube now. Or sorry, anybody watching on YouTube, you better come over to Rumble now because you're going to miss everything. Because I am now going to shut down that stream. Because YouTube. But the great thing is that we're at the same time we're streaming on Rumble. And Rumble is going to continue onward. We're going to march bravely forward. So join us over there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, but we'll see you over on Rumble.